Hello, and welcome to the Find Your X podcast brought to you by Hurricane Marsh Outfitters. I'm your host, Jon Blevins. Joining me today to my left is Trevor Besselman, Sam Stahl, and Harrison Zalueke. What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
Good, good.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, we're a cold February morning. Should be out snow goose hunting the way it sounds. But
Too cold.
I know we were talking about that when you guys all got here. You know, snow goose season. You know, our big thing is, hey, let's thaw out. We like sitting on top of the pit,
Taking a
catching
nap.
a
Suntan.
That's right. I mean, you just got back from Aruba.
Yep.
So you know what, suntanning's all about. So I know, Harrison, you've been up there shooting a few, but
Shooting a few, but not really worth it to sit out when it's 15 degrees. So.
yeah, it's been cold. And I mean, we had, the weird thing was I hunted that big warm up we had, and we didn't see much of anything. I think we're at the beginning. A lot of adults still coming through.
Yep.
But while we're all here, what we're here for today, we're here to talk about. We have a YouTube short film coming up. It's going to be called 12 Bands, I believe. Nick's working on that right now. Man, it was 40-something years of doing this. I've never seen anything like that. It was a special day, and I know there were some other fellows. Who else was there that we had? I know Pat. Pat's actually on a cruise right now, so he couldn't join us. But
Yeah, we had Pat and Ryan and Victor and who else was there?
Travis?
Yeah, Travis Brinker was there.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we had a good crew.
Yeah, we did.
Really good crew.
And we wanted to sit down and talk about it just to give some insight, because I mean, it's the most bands I've ever shot out of a group at one time, and actually Travis was there with me on that deal. That was 4.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys.
He shot 5 one early season, but it was also early season, so it's one of those things you kind of expect a little bit more than shooting them late season.
I mean, were they local geese that you guys shot, or?
They were banded about, hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's still pretty cool. I mean, they
Yeah.
travel a little distance to get there. I mean, the 12 bands that we shot, they were all roughly 400 miles from the spot we shot them at, and they were banded up in northern Iowa. We're down, and I would say east central Missouri is basically where, about where we were hunting. So, if you were to look at that path, they ranged from being banded that summer of 2025 all the way back to, I think you had one of 2021.
Yeah, 2021 was oldest,
Yep.
which I think we had 1 or 2 from 2023 also.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
was 3 older bands. The rest were all
Pretty new.
new.
But I mean, the fact that they all stayed together like
Yeah.
that in one continuous group, and I know Nick slowed the video down, and we looked at it. There was 22 birds in the group, I believe. We shot 12 banded ones.
There was 19 banded.
Yeah, all together.
Yep.
3 got out, or 10 got out. 7 of them had bands. 3 didn't have bands. So, and I had no clue when I came up that any of them were banded. Any of you guys?
I didn't.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wasn't paying. You couldn't really tell. I mean, it was just so like bloomy out. It was you couldn't tell unless
Right.
they're right there. If it was sunny, you could have seen it.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally.
it was like a dreary January day, or was it in February at that time? I can't even remember.
No, it's still January.
Still January. It was
Yep.
cold. I don't know if we had any snow spitting around, but it was pretty doggone cold out.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, just a cold gray day. Goosey day. And I remember we had some groups do it really nice, finished perfect. We shot them, and then it got to a point like some weren't really finishing, and then I remember you guys are all like me. I mean these are some goose killers right here. It's hard to find. I know you guys are all accomplished duck hunters, waterfowlers, turkey hunters, deer hunters, everything. But I mean, when it comes down to geese, they're just I'm a nut about it, and you guys all know that.
Yep.
These guys are about as sick as I am, which I know is probably not a good thing, but I think I turned out all
See
right.
what you
So
taught us.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure your parents are like, God, would you quit hanging around that Blevins guy?
Yeah.
It's just nothing but bad news. But yeah, I mean, we liked finishing them, and we had a few birds just right on the edge. And I know Trevor was calling the shot that day. And, and when you got a camera guy there, you're always thinking, hey, we want everything front and center. We want to just, do it right.
Yep.
And then, when you got a group of guys, like, well, maybe we need to take them when we need to take them, kind of thing. And we passed on a couple groups, and then that group did it.
Yeah, I mean, there were just some in the field, and I think the first 2 groups we had were already sitting in that field in prior couple days, so I think they were already comfortable coming in there. The ones that were kind of skirting us, they were already going to a different field. They've been going to a different field for a while.
Yeah, they just saw the decoys
Just
and
had to
thought,
trick 'em,
But to pass up something, or if we would have shot some birds, we wouldn't have needed 12.
Nope.
I mean, we still had a couple birds to go after that, but we would have missed out on that.
Yep.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah, and I even said, I go, man, maybe we should start shooting these, because Pat, he was getting nervous. He was getting nervous. What do you say, 110% we're going to get them? And by that time, it was 60-40. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
If anybody knows Pat, he is our group optimist. I mean, if we get there could be a million geese in the field and, them flying from every direction. And what do you think our chances are today, Pat? Well, I don't know. And, that's just the way he is. But he showed up that day. He said 110% we're going to get them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just found that kind of funny. But yeah, we waited on that group. I mean, just waited and finished them right. They finished nice. They were a little far.
Yeah, they were on the outside of decoys. I think they're 35 when we started them. I was kind of shocked they landed on the outside of the sleeper shells. Usually they went right in the middle of them.
Right.
So I was just kind of blown away at that. But I let most of them land.
Yeah.
Before we went, because they were a little bit out there. I'm like, well, if we can get them on the ground and go from there.
Yeah, start working on them on the way up.
Yeah.
They
little collateral.
They had a hard time getting out of there.
They did
for sure.
There were some shooters.
Oh man, that
day.
Yeah, there was no lack of shooters. That's for sure.
Yeah, everybody was shooting good. So I mean, it was cool. But I know you had, was that a gun cam you had on? You sent me a video of it.
I just had my iPhone, I put it in the A-frame, right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
Right in the top, and just, sat in there perfect. So you could see him, everything working the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It just gave a different perspective than what Nick had and everything. And so, let's go back to how this all started. So we were cranking on the geese until about, Christmas. Then it got slow. Mm-hmm. And then, the weather warmed up. And then we got that super cold. And I know we were still, we got complacent. Got to hunt the pits. It's nice. It's comfortable, and we just weren't shooting them.
Weren't seeing them.
That was it. We weren't seeing them, and then we started hunting the fields. I found some up by me, and you're like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure I have some down by your family farm." So you went down there, and then hey, I remember getting the phone call. Hey, John, there's a lot of geese down here, and so you were like, "Hey, let's just jump back and forth. We'll shoot your geese, we'll shoot my geese." And that's what we did for a little bit. And, you were like, hey, I want to get it right, the right day where the wind's going to be right. We had a perfect hide.
Yep. Yeah, that's just with that hide. We needed the right wind for it.
Right.
Down in that ditch. I didn't want to shoot them coming right over top of us, Wanted them to be out farther, coming in.
Right.
Not even think we're there, which you weren't. The A-frame and a ditch was the exact same height.
Oh, yeah. It was, you were eye level with the field.
Like hunting a pit.
Yeah, exactly. And it was kind of cool because we had enough snow, and it was a dry snow, and it drifted in there because I remember everybody was out there with shovels. We dug the ditch out, put the A-frames in there, and then threw the snow back on. You couldn't see it.
No, it was invisible.
It was an igloo.
I mean,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
it really
basically it was, yeah.
With that spot prior, years, every year, I don't know why they like that field late in the year, but it's always last week of season. They get in that field.
Yeah.
And I think this is the 5th year we've shot them in there in a row. It's just only 2 days. That's all you get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's gone. But I don't know why they like it late season, but we've shot a lot of geese up there, between duck season, goose season, killed one band. And that was 2 years ago. We shot that stainless band.
Isn't that crazy?
Never seen any other goose bands. Don't see them anywhere.
Wow.
Look what happens.
Yeah. And in one day, I know I was sitting down, I think it was Nate Meyer, me and him were talking, he hunts out in Kansas City. They shoot a lot of bands out there. He's got a lot of rivet bands. And, that's why I was, we were talking about that, in my opinion, there's all the bands on the land, there's no credibility in that.
Right.
It's luck.
It's all high lottery
I mean,
ticket.
you shoot all them geese out of that field for how long?
Yep.
And, for many years, you kill one band, and in one day we wipe out 12 of them. Just crazy.
What are the odds? Probably never shoot one there again.
Well, I hope not, because I'd like to see it again. But yeah, I mean, I just want to go through with each and see what everybody's take on that was. I mean, because everybody sees everything different. I just remember sitting there. Hey, there's a bunch of birds coming, and I think me and you had tried easing up on them, not really blowing at them at all, playing nobody's home. And then I remember on this group, we just started clucking and moaning them, and the whole way in, did that and hit a little spit note and double cluck with them, and once I saw, you can read them once you see, and I was like, yeah, these are going to do it. There's no doubt. And I was just sitting there waiting, waiting on the call, just like it's funny because Sam will always say to me, he's like, yeah, I know when it's time to go because John's usually calling. And when you hear all the bands clink on his land, you're just like, okay, we're going within like 2 seconds, so be ready. But yeah, so that's kind of, I was just sitting there looking at that, watching them come in, and then the mayhem started.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that spot right there, you're hunting almost too close to the roost.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you got to have the right wind for everything. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. A shotgun's a little bit more dud in a field than it is over water.
Right.
It don't echo. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, we got to have it either a north wind, northwest wind, or a south or a southwest wind, or even an east wind. East wind would have been fine because it would have been hitting us in the back. They'd have been coming over. But once they pop them trees right in front of you at 300 yards away already, you already know you got them.
Oh, yeah.
When they're coming at you, they're coming.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about that. The ones you see, you're going to decoy probably.
Yeah, you're going to get.
Yeah, but there is a lot up there. Just
my gosh,
there was some going to the north, some going to the south, some going to the east. I'm like, where are they going?
I mean, they were hitting other spots in the bottoms. I mean, and you could tell the ones that had been using the field because I remember we got there. I took Nick out with the camera. I said, hey, get some of this. Is pretty cool B-roll to have. I mean, there was. A lot of people call them soars, where they sit around, they scratch up the snow, or when they come in, they'll land. And you'll see a lot of times when it's really cold, geese will go to sleep, and what they're doing, they're trying to melt that underneath them so they could get to the grain or whatever.
Yep.
And then there was just goose tracks everywhere in the snow, and I mean, feel pretty confident. That's where Pat gets the 110% from.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were hunting up there the day before. I seen that field; it was just solid tracks. I'm like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, you sent me that video, and I was like,
oh, buddy,
pretty high confidence on this deal.
Yeah, I'm like, when they're in here, they're usually in here.
And you took one for the team because I know we hunted the fields up there by me. We shot them one day. We had a really cold day the next that we didn't, but we watched them dump into a different part of the field just across the road, which I know you were ready. You were just done. I mean, you were having such a rough go.
We're in a dry spell there for about 3 weeks. So
yeah.
It was getting pretty bad.
It was tough. And, I mean, so we shot that field up there, and we killed a band from Iowa the day before we shot these 12 bands. Harrison ended up winning the band, but, the guys on that side who shot, that's a pretty cool video. I don't know if Nick will be doing that this year or we'll, break it out, right before Goose season next year to kind of get everybody in the mood. But, that was a really cool video too. But so we were going through that drought. We shoot them up there. You were back. I know you wanted to be there. I could tell.
No, I wanted to be
because you knew
there.
we were going to get them.
Yeah, I knew
and but sometimes that's what it takes.
Somebody's got to be the scout sometimes to get a different spot lined up. You can only bang on so many geese for so long in one spot. You got to switch it up, give them a break, and then give them another curveball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to take one for the team, which is fine.
Yeah.
I like doing that. Even if some geese are just not doing it right or you're not seeing them, somebody needs to go leave them get breakfast. Somebody needs to go get breakfast, you get them.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I've kind of figured that out. And I'm usually the one.
Well, don't feel bad. Years ago, I remember we were hunting out along the river. Some friends of mine had a pit out there, and my mom makes like the best pecan pie. And this was right after Christmas. Back then, believe it or not, our goose season in Missouri was over by the end of December, or usually by Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And, we never got into January.
Yep.
But the weather was colder. We had geese, and so we would shoot a bunch of them before then. So it was slow, and I remember, we were getting ready to break out lunch, and I said, hey, my mom made a pecan pie. Why I didn't bring it out, I have no idea. And I said, I'll go back to the truck and get that pecan pie. So I remember I walked back, and I'm halfway back from the truck, and a big old migrator group sets in on these guys, and they cleaned them up. The limit was 2.
Yep.
And, we had shooters in the pit that day, too. And so they had their limit, and they get back, and everybody's laughing and high-fiving. There was a band killed, too. And, so I was teased as the pecan pie boy after that. I was younger at the time, so every time it gets slow, I was like, hey, don't you have a pecan pie in that truck you need to go get? So, but, yeah, everybody's got to take one for the team every once in a while. But, getting it lined up, having some good intel and good scouting pays off.
Yep.
And, it was a heck of a hunt.
Yep.
And then we were able to hunt back up by me because I think you two were there with me the next day.
Yep.
20 minutes I think we were done.
Yeah, I think me, you, and Shank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Harrison, we were
tried
done
running
quick.
the A-frames in the middle of the fields, which we were kind of skeptical about at first, but it worked.
It worked great.
Yeah.
Oh, we had shooters that day too. I mean, it took 2 groups. We were done. So.
Oh yeah,
That's all you need.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. And I still get shook up about them to this day. I don't know how many I've shot, but man, when them big old things drop their feet and they're coming in double clucking and everything, it just gets me. But you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
When those big dogs get in
It's
there.
like shooting a TV.
Yeah, basically.
Everybody says that about cranes. I'm starting thinking about these honkers. They're slow.
Yeah. If you get them in tight, you finish them right.
Right.
It's going to be. It's not easy, but
It's not.
you just gotta
Tricking them's a hard
get
part.
that head down. Everybody, they come in, and I see a lot of people. You just wanting to watch the show.
Watch them, yeah.
And you don't get that head down, and that's that's the biggest mistake.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So what was your take on it? I want to hear from your end. Then we'll go to Sam and hear what he's got.
I was sitting down by Trevor, and I've hunted up there the last 5 years with him. We hunted multiple times. He's always like, "Oh, we're never going to shoot a band. We're never going to shoot a band." He just kind of being a pat about it. And so we shot that one stainless band about 3 years ago. I remember sitting there, and I was just joking with him. We're down the end. I'm like, today we're going to shoot a family group, like a big family group, and just wipe the bands out. That was what? 10 minutes before we shot that group, if that. I'm like, we're just going to wipe them out. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, we're at least shoot some bands. Like, I was just joking.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 minutes later that group came in. We rained them out, and then it was me and him. We went out and started picking the cripples up.
Yeah.
I remember the first goose I picked up was banded. I just held it in my hand. I started walking to him, like, to figure out, to surprise him with a band.
Yeah.
But then he picks up a goose. He turns around and looks at me, and he starts screaming band. I'm like, well, I got one too. Then I think every goose after that we picked up was banded.
Yeah, it was
So
one after another.
Yeah, I was trying to trick him a little bit, mess with him. I was going to carry that band up to him, like, hey, man, I think we're due for a band here. We've shot probably 150 geese here, not killed a band yet.
Yep.
So I was going to just mess with him a little bit, but didn't really get the opportunity when the whole group was banded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you said, he yells, hey, we got a band.
I was like, yeah.
Then you started, and I think you were out, because then, like, the blind emptied out.
Yeah.
Everybody starts
We're all
running out.
pouring out there.
And, I had Rip up there. He's just a puppy. And, he's running. He'd grab one cripple, and then he'd see another cripple, and he'd drop it and go get another one. And then finally, I get a goose from him, like, wow, this one's banded.
Yeah.
Then I think I heard you say,
They're all banded.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all banded.
Yeah, everybody's, like, picking them up. And we were I think we had a pile of 11. It's pretty cool. I think I've shown you guys a video of Nick's shot, but we're all sitting in it, out there in the middle, just talking about, hey, this is cool. And then Trevor, I didn't know there was another one out there. And Trevor goes, hey, there's one way out by the road, about maybe 250, 300 yards. Do you think the dog will get it? That was a perfect opportunity for Rip to run a blind. And, there was snow on the ground, so to give him that, he saw that black spot. And I remember sending him, and I remember people saying behind me, wouldn't that be cool if that one's banded too? And I remember him running out to it. And, he's coming back he's still trying to figure out how to pick all these heavy geese up and run with them. And he dropped it halfway, and then, we're all sitting there talking. And then he comes in, he side finishes, and you can see the one later, there's nothing on it. But I remember as soon as I grabbed that thing, it was just like, all you guys erupted and just went nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, it was a cool feeling.
Yeah.
So.
No, it was just fun, having a group of guys that I like being around on a hunt like that. I mean, they're just, and I felt bad. I mean, I was wanting my dad to go. I don't know if he's ever killed a goose band or seen one die, and then he's like, oh, I can't go. Grandma's got the birthday party. I'm like, come on, we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be a couple hours late, whatever, Now he was pretty bummed. He was like, oh. I could have got my first band.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I saw down at NWTF, he came by, he comes by the booth and we sit and talk, and that's when he's like, man, I should have went, that kind of thing. I think your dad was the same way, and, but you just never know.
No.
You could go on that hunt 100 more times and never shoot a band, and, to me, just killing a limited geese is special in its own, sense. And then, but, you add that to it, and it just makes it even more special.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, years prior, it was just like, had 14 shooters lined up for this day, 7 show up. I guess they hung out at dog parade a little too long the night before or something.
That happens.
Yeah, no, it's typical, but
yeah,
and then you get 7 guys and you're done in 30 minutes. You're like, man, I wish I would have had another 7 guys here. You could have wiped them out again.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was fun. That's a once in a lifetime.
Oh, yeah, something we'll remember forever.
Right. You'll probably never see it in early or late season like that, but early season you might see it again.
Yeah,
it's possible.
and you hear, like you were saying, you guys shot those 5 early. You hear that, quite a bit. You
Yeah.
know, you're hunting next to a place, and they band them right there. So the odds are those family groups are still together, or that, colony of geese, whatever you want to call it, is still together. They haven't migrated 400 miles down the flyway and been banged at by this person, that person, or, whatever. And we were just lucky to have that group to hang together. So,
Yeah. I mean, what are the odds? I mean, if you look at where they were banded from, it's just like, man, I can't believe they stuck together. They had to be a golf course group. I mean, they lived on a green all their life.
No kidding.
Yeah, the 9th hole, the 18th hole, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know.
I'm sure Matt's been chasing them around for a while.
Yeah. Flum, sorry, dude, we shot some of your geese, man. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd have loved to have been there with us
man,
too. So
for sure.
but
The other thing is, like, a lot of the spots we hunt, we don't get those, like, local bands, I feel, that often. Like, you see a lot of people shoot those local bands.
Yeah.
You'll get those family groups coming through. But, like, really, everywhere we hunt,
They don't band them around us.
they don't, like,
No,
we
they
don't
don't.
get the local bands. So it's like, it was, like, very just rare and cool experience. So, like, we never even kill, like, the 1s and 2s of local bands, really.
Yep.
I mean,
No.
every few years you might get one that's banded with 30 or 40 minutes away, but, I mean, slim to none.
I'd say most of our bands, we shot 14 this year, all from Iowa. Usually we shoot, on a typical year, 6 to 9. I mean, you've hunted with me for a long time.
Yep.
6 to 9 bands. I think 12 bands was the biggest year one year. That was the year that Travis and I and Gary killed 4 out of that group in one day. So that just jumped the total. But mainly it's Minnesota and Iowa.
Yep. You get a couple from Canada,
Yeah.
Yep. But, yeah, it's mainly northern birds and, like, southeast of us a little bit. Them golf courses, they used to band them a lot.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of them.
Yep.
And everybody around us, they're banned this. They got a ban. They got a ban. They don't do it no more. I don't know
they
why.
don't do it no more. And I think a lot of it is, too, a lot of ground's been annexed.
Yep.
And you can't hunt that no more.
Yep.
I know we've lost some spots over the years that we used to hunt that was in the middle of town and can't, it's a no-go. And so those birds, you listen to, I go back and talk about Sean Stahl did that Meet the Molts. I mean, if you guys ever, it's a cool video he did with, I think, RNTV or something. But it's just talking about the molt migrators. We probably get some down here, but I mean, it's not like they do in Minnesota or Michigan or North Dakota or whatever, Wisconsin. But, just talking about how the telemetry studies on these birds, how they'll kill geese up in Michigan that make it back to that same golf course, I mean, so they got studies to show that bird goes up, molts up there, comes, and it'll find its way back to that golf course in the middle of Chicago where it can't get shot, and it'll do it year after year after year. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. But we just don't – I'm sure there's different places that do ban them around here, but we just don't get that opportunity.
No.
So, it's cool that, that happened the way it did that day. So
Especially they weren't local geese. That was even cooler,
well, that was the first thing. Everybody's like, oh, they probably came from across the river.
Across the river.
or-
'Cause
or
they do it
something
right
like that.
there. Yeah, right across the river they do it.
So, that's what we thought. And then when we got back and we were cleaning them, people started, checking on their phones where they were from. Oh, no way, Iowa, And
Yep.
then when we found out they were all together, I mean, that was
sweet.
kind of figured they were. But, I mean, some of the geese,
Their numbers were way off.
they were way off and they looked different. Mm-hmm. Like some of the birds, I mean, there were some, didn't it? I think there was a few that had blonde wings
Yeah,
or
they had them
something.
blonde tips and everything. in them.
Yeah.
So what's weird up there at that place is usually when we shoot geese, they're huge geese. They're
Yeah.
giants. I mean, they're northern birds. They're giants. And that first group we shot into, I'm like, man, these are kind of like medium sized. We got a whole different colony of birds here right now. It
Yeah.
just kind of hit me right then. I'm like, man, that's weird. And then after them bands, I'm like, yep, we definitely have a different
Oh,
colony
yeah,
of
for sure.
geese.
Yeah.
Just from what's usually there.
Well, I mean, Iowa had like 20 inches of snow earlier in the year.
Yep.
We got geese down earlier than I've ever seen them. We've never shot them as early as we did this year. And so I think a lot of birds made it down, and then that reinforced cold shot and more snow, pushed geese a little further south than I think a lot of people thought last year. They actually got way past us. I mean, just guys at NWTF, I'm talking from Kentucky and Tennessee and Arkansas, were coming in and showing me videos of, this is where I live. Look at all these dark geese. We don't ever have dark geese like this.
They
And
don't
so,
own any dark geese decoys.
no, maybe a speck.
Yeah.
And that's it. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, it was good to get them things. I think a lot of them geese thought you go past I-80 in Illinois you get outside Chicago, the earth falls off and it doesn't exist. And, there for a while I was beginning to think, I don't think geese know what Missouri is anymore,
It's starting to get that way.
So, but yeah, it was good to see, some get down and, just see the journey of where, a band, that's what's cool to me. You get to see, hey, where'd they come from? What story do they got to tell? How many times have they been past hunters? And you kind of look at it and you try to think, okay, how did they end up here?
Right.
What path did they take? Which river did they follow? Or did they follow a highway south? I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah, and like somebody said, like it was surprising that none of them were double banded. They've been caught multiple times.
Exactly.
Had to.
At least 2 to 3 times they've been caught.
Yeah.
So it's shocking that they don't do that as much anymore. Don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, ducks they will. They'll still double band them, but it's rare.
Yeah, I mean, I think anymore they just record the data off that band.
That's it.
And, just go from there. I mean, there's a biologist up in the guy that banded those geese. I've talked to him. He's a biologist up in Iowa. He, extensively studies the Canada goose, and he's a really interesting guy to talk to. If I could ever sit down and have a, podcast with him, I think it'd be super interesting.
Cool.
The guy knows the ins and outs of Canada geese, and I mean, I was just we sat and talked for like 30 minutes on the phone. I had more, I wouldn't say nefarious ideas, but like, I was trying to get information out of him because I've been trying to find a place up in Iowa to get, like we got down here. And then that's when Joe Heinz brought in Matt, and that's how I met Matt, and then Matt became buddies. We went up there and shot with him, and, he's like, well, just come up here and hunt with me. So
he didn't want me to leave. I'm going to have to start sending my mail here or something.
Yeah. I think, that's where everybody's like, hey, where's Trevor at? I said, well, he's still up there hunting with Matt. I don't know if he's coming back. I said, it was pretty good up there. And they got some spots where they really cranked the bands.
Yeah, they got good spots up there.
Yeah.
So he's got it right.
Yeah.
Wherever he does, and he does it right. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to hunt with people like that, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And,
different ways to hunt that they hunt than us,
But everything up there is chisel plowed.
Constant chisel plowed fields, and they're hiding layouts in it. Like, I'd be like, man, this ain't going to work.
I remember our first day, we got him out there. I'm sitting there going, he says it's going to work.
It did.
And I have faith in what he says because he's killed a lot of geese. And, yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, we shot a limit of mallards, shot a limit of honkers the first day. And, the weather kind of warmed on us, didn't have no wind. But, I mean, still shot some geese. The golf course was cool. I was wanting to get back up there and shoot with him again. But just our schedule and everything else, he called me, hey, man,
that was just
7th through to 9th hole is loaded. You guys need to get up here. And I was like, man, I'd love to. And we just couldn't do it.
That's something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you what, shooting bands is fun, but hunting that fairway like that, I was just like, man, this is awesome.
It just felt weird.
You know me. I like wearing hey dudes out hunting. I could have wore them that day. I didn't have to wear my knee boots.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. You could have. I mean, it was manicured and everything, and I mean, it just, all the different ways I've hunted geese. I've hunted them in town before, but never like that.
Yep.
Usually at ag in the middle of town. That's but nothing to like that of a golf course. So that was pretty cool. We'll get back up there again and
for sure
do that next year. But as long as Matt will have us, I hope you will. But Sam, what was your take on it? I mean, I'd never really hunted with you before. I think we've hunted maybe once or twice before that.
Maybe once before.
Yeah. And so
I just think it was meant to be in a lot of ways. And one of them for me was how many geese did we have that were so close to us that we didn't go on? We could have very well.
Yep.
And I think it was just meant to be in that way that we waited. It was that right group. They just did it just outside on that edge. And, I mean, we tore them up. We shoot 12 bands out of one group. I mean, to me, that's unreal. I think any hunter can probably relate to that. That's doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen often. Some people never experience a single band, but 12 and one go like that was really neat.
Wasn't that your first goose band too?
Yeah, it was my first goose band, which was pretty cool.
And
that's awesome.
He deserved it. I'm telling you right now, because he sat out there many days where I'm like, I don't know about it. I don't know if it's worth going out there. He's like, man, I'm going.
I was itching.
He was dead set.
We've been having this conversation, and Trevor and I as well before this. We're like, man, one band shot, you know what happens. You don't shoot them for so long. You shoot one, and then what's going to happen next? And sure enough, it was really neat.
Yeah, you go on a dry spell, then they just start falling.
Oh, man.
It seems like.
I mean, we've shot a lot of geese together, and, I mean, we're thinking, man, one of these times they're going to be banded.
Well, the day before the hunt, I did shoot a band, but prior to that, I was on a 3-year dry streak. Yep. he was on a 3-year dry streak. And I know you just got into goose hunting with the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, the last 3 years I really started.
But I mean, still we go a lot. I mean, we don't really care about the bands, but
Right.
you think if you shoot a couple hundred geese, you get a band or two.
Yeah,
here
one's
and
gonna
there.
fall. You know. Yeah.
But I mean, we haven't shot a band in 3 years between the three of us.
Yeah.
So it's like we were starting to itch pretty bad for one.
We all were scratching for sure.
Talk about making up for lost time.
Yeah, no kidding. It happens quick.
Yeah.
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 And usually, though, once you starts, it kind of goes on a roll for a little bit, then it dies off.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that kind of lately, you know, especially with duck bands. You'll
Yeah.
shoot 3 in a week, and then all of a sudden it's done.
Yeah.
It's just like counting a bird.
Yeah.
You
Like-
know,
like
that
we
county got here.
Like we said, John, you know, we didn't shoot very many bands this year, but after that hunt, we're like, yeah, just give them a year. We'll be back next year, same time. Let's just do it again, you know.
Yeah.
I know my phone's
you-
going to be ringing about that time
Yeah.
next year. What do you think? That
Hey,
band
Trev,
field?
We'll just
Yeah.
wait until then. What was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
January 28th, we'll be out there.
Oh
you know.
yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, I mean it. You know, it seems like every year you got them, and so you know, it's just something that we got this group of guys now. We got all these really good spots when the weather's right to hunt geese. I mean, you got a great spot. You know, you guys hunt there all the time.
Yep.
You got that. You know, when it turns on, you got your other place up north. We just haven't. You get hunting so many different spots. It's hard to get to every one. I mean, now we're putting in another 40 coming up here soon, and the blessing from your mom and dad that we
Mom.
that
Mom, for sure.
Lori, please. He's a good kid.
There's
so,
no Ted involved in this one. It's all Laurie. I'm
But,
either going to get my head chopped off or not. I don't know yet.
But it's just fun to have places like that to hunt, and
sure.
It's even though we weren't in a fancy pit or anything that day. I mean that it doesn't matter. We
do
had
what
a
you gotta
good
do.
group of guys. We had good shooters. We had a lot of geese. You
Yep.
can't ask for anything more.
No, there was no lack of geese up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it
was
was
something.
something different. Like the last 3 or 4 years, I might have hunted a feed 5 times in the last
We don't hunt feeds.
in the last
Yeah.
three,
Just
3 or
don't.
4 years. I mean, we put these nice pits in. We sit back. We have heaters. We're cooking food, and which we don't like just shoot them every day. But like it takes 1 or 2 groups. We're happy. Like that's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
we need. And we like shooting them over water. They normally do it pretty good over water. In my opinion, I rather shoot them over water.
Yeah.
But I mean, this season was different for sure. We shot most of our geese out in fields, so
Yeah.
we had to go work for it. But
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have a year like this every once in a while because, I mean, those fields of mine that I shoot up there, geez, I haven't hunted out there in 10 years.
yeah,
Didn't have a reason to.
We're
I
getting
mean,
spoiled.
yeah, we
Yeah.
got spoiled and we kept, leaning on that crutch. And then finally, Travis was the one that told me, he's like, hey, geese are using the fields again. You guys might want to go give that a look. And then we went out there and just started banging. And, I'm getting older. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy hunting out of the pit, but man, it wasn't that bad hunting them lay down blinds. It was like 14 degrees a couple days.
Snowing sideways.
Yeah, and Heinz and them guys at Matt and all them are probably looking at us going, "Oh boy, 14 degrees. Oh, it's really
Yeah.
cold." Them guys are up there hunting Minnesota below zero, and
Yep.
probably just wearing hay dudes out there. So
Geese fly in that up there. They don't
Yeah.
fly in it here.
No, they don't.
I don't
You're
get it.
100%.
They
I mean,
don't.
when it gets cold here, I mean, we got that big cold stretch, I watched them for 4 days, and they didn't move.
I don't know what they're eating. I mean, all them geese by my house, they didn't move.
No,
They
they
would not move.
sat there with their head on their back,
Yep.
and that's all they did. If anything, you would see before the snow hit, they would go peck around in the grass.
Yeah.
But I mean, how long can you sustain, 0 degrees by eating grass? I don't know. I guess they can. They're tougher than you think.
They're tough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're not flying until it's 36. It breaks 36 degrees, something like that, and they're out there.
Oh,
But,
they cut
just-
loose.
yeah.
It's just
Man.
weird to think about it like that. They can shoot them in 0 degrees up there, and then it gets 0 here. You don't
Nothing.
see them.
and if they do fly, they get off the roost about 30 minutes before dark, and
That's
they go to the
right.
first field, so you can't get under them. So if you're shoot them out of that field, you can't like really traffic off them at all. Like
They all come at once too.
Yeah.
yeah, like, it's not
Can't
much you can-
shoot.
yeah, it's not much really can do when they get in that pattern. And they were in it for at least 2 or 3 weeks there.
At least.
They got rough. I mean,
Yeah.
I know, especially at my place, we didn't see a goose for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I know.
And those are long
I
days.
felt so bad. I talked to Harrison. Yeah, I sat in that pit all day. Again. How many geese you see? Nothing. And I'm like, gosh. I was going through the same thing. I mean, I was sitting up there. I would get lucky. I think one day I was just sitting there. It was the Monday after that big snow we had. It was really cold. and nobody would go. I went up there and I thought, well, I drove around, scouted, saw the same geese sitting in the same spot with their head on their back, and I thought, man, this is gonna be a waste of time again today. It was super cold. Yeah, I think it got up to 12 that day. No, it was single digits is all it got to. So, me and the dogs were out there, and about an hour before shooting time, I hear a honk. There was 30 migrators, and boy, two of them they lit from me to Harrison from my pit hole. They stood there and honked. The other one circled, and they floated right in. I was sitting there. The sun, it was a west wind. Sun was shining right on them that afternoon. I was looking for bands. It was easy to see. Didn't see nothing, so I came up and shot 3. And, Jeter had to get in the water for one of them. And, I mean, by the time he got out, solid ice. And, it was that cold. But, you get lucky like that. But it's just one of those things. You can't kill them from the couch.
Nope.
And if you don't go, you're never going to know.
Yep.
So, and like you said, you guys are like me with this whole water thing. A lot of people don't get it. They don't understand it. What we're hunting is mostly traffic. That's it.
That is.
We try to stay out of the fields if we can. And my reasoning behind that is if that's where they want to go and you can traffic them from your water spots, and it ended up not working out for us this year, so we had to go after them if we wanted to get on them. But that keeps them in the if they're able to go from point A to point B, or let's just say point A to point C, if you're at B, those geese are going to stay around because for all those that pass over you, you might pick off a couple.
Right.
And so if you're allowed to do that, say you got 4,000 or 5,000 geese in the area and that's all you got, each day you can be able to shoot those geese just running traffic and they stay around. But you start hunting the X where they want to be, they'll leave. At least here, they leave. There's, I'll see them. They may hit another field, or they'll just go a whole different direction, or you just won't see them anymore. I don't know where they go, but, somewhere they're not going to get shot.
It's amazing they can think that and remember that. Their brain is the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
Like, how? I just don't get it.
I remember Jerry Kelly's dad used to tell me, yeah, we just got outsmarted by something with a brain the size of a soybean.
Yep.
Doesn't it make you feel stupid?
It does. It does. That's for sure.
Yeah. They're smart, they're crafty, wary birds. That's how they're able to survive what we consider just unbearable. And it's really, I think it's nothing to them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Which, for the most part, I think all of us would rather shoot them over water, and it's more of you got to trick them more. Which I'm not as good as a goose caller as you two guys, but
you're pretty good.
The whole feeling of getting a goose to go somewhere that was not planning to go, because you can see them on their traffic line where they're going from roost to roost or roost to feed. If you can break them off that, once you get down to a certain point, normally you're shooting most fields you shoot in, you go shoot out, you're shooting or sitting up outside the decoys, shoot into the decoys, you're shooting at 35 or 30 yards, which sometimes you get them 10 or 15, but when you're hunting over water, and you can finally break them off that line, they come all the way down, and there's several times 10 or 15 yards is a far shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's that's the one thing I like about it. It takes less birds. You don't educate as many birds.
That's right.
And for me, it's not about killing. It's once you get past the point of tricking them.
Yeah.
Half the time, you don't even have to shoot. Once you get them to trick off that line already, you're like, all right, my
Game
job's
over.
done.
Yep.
Yeah. Amen to that. you couldn't have put it any better.
Yeah.
And
it's easier to do over water also. People can run traffic in fields, but you get more visible over water. You can hide better normally.
They're more comfortable.
And they do it better. This how it
They
is.
do it better.
Yeah.
But to all you guys wanting to hunt water, don't do it.
Yeah. Not fun.
Don't
So-
Wouldn't try.
Just don't do it.
It's
Don't
very
even try
cold, very cold. You get all wet all the time, you fall in. Not worth it.
it. No, it to each his own. I got, friends that, they'll hunt, fields all day long and they love it. It's just something we like to do. And, where we're from, it was just access was easier there. You guys own that spot. And, luckily I'm just, blessed to have, the farmers that I hunt with that, let me do what I do. And, your family owns the spot up there that you guys hunt and, and got the pit at. And, so, it's just the way things work out.
Absolutely.
But we don't get the geese here that we used to get when I was you guys' age. So you got to start thinking outside the box. How can we hunt them different and keep them here and not spoil so many? It's and I can tell I'm around good hunters when not this year, but in years past, we get a group of 30 or 40 coming. You look back, everybody's just doing this. Yep. Nobody's got that hand on that gun. They already know. We're not going to shoot into this group. It's just we can't do that because if we do, you start educating everything, and then your goose season's pretty short lived.
Yep.
So our thing is, you hope if they do come in, you get to play the game with them, and they do it. Maybe a couple of them stay around. You let the rest leave, and then jump those and get them. But more than likely, that group will leave, and you'll get some of them to spin back, and that way you're not blowing up the whole group. And our whole goal is when we get, you want to get these smaller groups in and just no witnesses.
Yeah.
They don't
go back, tell their buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like in Missouri, you only need 3 birds anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, and normally we're not hunting with more than 5 or 6 guys.
Right.
I mean, if we go hunt a feed or something, we're getting more guys lined up. Like on our average day, there's probably 3 to 4 to 5 is our
If
average
that.
when we're hunting together.
Yeah.
3 to 4.
3 to 4, yeah. If that.
A lot of times 1 or 2.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, more times than not, it's probably 2 to 3. So it's like, we don't want to shoot into 40 geese when there's only 2 or 3 guns in the blind.
What's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're seeing 40 geese, the odds are there's going to be other groups of 10, 5 flying around. So
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, especially
one
where we're
I'm
at
saying.
it. If there's that many, if we got groups that big, there's definitely little ones flying around.
Yeah,
You just give it a few minutes, and you'll get them. So, it's just a way to keep your hunting better for longer is all it is.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, you know why a lot of people don't hunt water. It's expensive.
it's
By the
expensive.
time you run, your wire down there for electric, your 2 or 3 ice rippers, your pits. I mean, you don't have to have pits. You can
No.
run A-frames. But, I mean, between ice rippers, floaters, full bodies, a lot of people just buy an A-frame, full bodies or silhouettes. That's
Yeah.
it. They can go hunt any field they want.
Right.
Hunting water, you need twice as much stuff. Texas rigs, everything.
Oh yeah.
It's just, there's more to it. You got to have more sleeper shells in case it ice ups. It's constant. People probably think we're crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I've had a lot of guys from up north say, well, why do you guys do that?
Yeah, you go shoot them in the field
Why
over
don't
there.
you guys just go find a field? It's a lot. It's not. You're not messing around, and that could be because they are used to the cold up there, and we don't. I mean, we do get cold. We did, last few years we have.
yeah.
It's gotten really cold, and you're fighting the ice. You got to wear waders, and then your waders get froze, or then you have the chance, like you said, of falling in and everything else. So I mean, there's another. I wouldn't say it's not a degree of difficulty, but just another thing to deal with.
Another thing
is
to
all it
deal
is.
with. Yeah, and you're always worrying, did the breaker trip? Did the electric get hit?
Yeah.
Ice rippers don't turn on. Then you're running generators like you were back there.
Yeah,
this
we
year.
lost power the last day we hunted. I mean, that was a fun hunt too. We got there. I didn't run. There were some geese using the lake back there, so I didn't want to go back there. And it had been warm, and it got cold that night, but the wind died.
Yep.
So we get there, and there's ice, and I'm like, doggone, here we go. So I fired the generator back up. We plugged the ice rippers in, and I got out there with that jet sled and just started breaking it up, which is typically not the thing to do. But it wasn't that thick, and the wind was supposed to blow out of the northwest at like 15 to 20 that day. So I thought, well, if we break it up and give that ice somewhere, like the middle of the lake kind of stayed open, and the way I set them ice rippers up, I do it different than a lot of people. I draw from the deep into the shallow, and we got where we're setting decoys is maybe that deep.
Yep.
We put the DSDs on stands, and it looks so natural. The geese will sit right at the edge of the water, but you push that water up, and we're lucky enough in that spot, it's like a cove. And so it circulates like this and then blows out into the middle. So we broke the ice up, and the ice eaters took that chunked ice way out there. Yep. So it got out of our hole. It was clean. And, man, I was sitting there watching 40 on camera that morning, and I remember you guys are probably like, oh, my gosh, because I got like, oh, there goes another bunch in the 40.
Yep.
Oh, there's another bunch in the 40. Oh, now there's geese up walking around in the ice at 40. And, Pat was –
the day before, he said, we need to hunt back there.
Yeah, that's what he said. We need to hunt back there because I had some on camera, and we really hadn't given it a fair shake because 40 had been so good. So we go back there, and, I mean, it was slow.
The first group didn't do it.
No.
And
no.
I looked over at Pat. Like,
that was kind of on my end. At this pit, there's not as many holes.
No.
And so Rip and Jeter are so used to sitting. They're spoiled. I got dog cots for them right by me at the pit, so they lay there. And, Rip, 10 months old now. But so I had him, this pit's smaller, so we had him down underneath. Well, the first group starts coming, and he's used to being, like, right there, and he stays really calm. But this group, we had another group doing it, and all of a sudden I think you said, hey, here come 4, like right here, get ready. And, I heard him honking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see 4 of them just floating like this. and I thought, oh, we got these, and all of a sudden, rip.
Yeah.
And I mean, like it shocked me, and I think shocked everybody else. And I mean, the birds were within range, but it happened so fast, and they boogered out. I don't know if they heard them; they probably did. There was still, I think, some shine on the decoys. I think Pat was going on. We got a little bit of frost right as we put everything out, but then the wind picked up, it started blowing, and I mean, buddy,
It got good.
2 groups, that was it.
Yep. It got good.
Nick's got that on video too. That's gonna be another good one. I mean, because I remember, maybe it was both groups, but I remember one group in particular we shot 9 out of. They were coming in, and that pit's funny because the way it sits on a northwest wind, there's a bunch of dry ground there that we just pepper with decoys. I could show you trail cam footage right now, and I guarantee you there's honkers sitting there just like we set our decoys. And so in the pit, it's not technically a ground pit. It's weird because it's on the side of a lake. It's sloped like that. So the front of it is actually out of the ground like 5-6 feet. So you're shooting down on them, which it is fun. But when they're coming in and they do it right like they did, I remember we came up and there was like 2 on my side. Okay, I'm going to shoot these, and if I get on the other ones, so be it. But, I mean, there was a dozen of them that drifted in. And what they do, when they get out of sight, they'll keep flapping. They won't hit that water. They'll just keep flapping until they get up in those sleeper cells in the dry ground. I remember I said, let's go. I come up, pop, and I'm thinking, it's quiet. I was like, what is going on here? Because there was, 5 of us or 6 of us, and 6 of us in there.
There was 6 of us.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And all of a sudden it's just like, and then everything's just like falling like that. And, everybody's hooting and hollering. And I remember your dad's like, yeah, I heard you say go, but, I come up and there was 4, like 80 yards out, the last 4 in the group that were just late coming in. He's like, I guess we're going to shoot at these. And then all of a sudden, all of them erupt, that were down below where you couldn't see. And, that's happened so many. It happened twice that day. It happens every time you got a north or a west wind with it. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I was confused when you're like, kill him. I came up, I was like, where are we shooting?
I heard Pat over there in the background. Are we going on those?
I think there was about 1 or 2 that were still in the air.
Yeah.
Out of the 9 or so that came in close, or 7, how many it was. And then I finally caught on to them. I think we cleaned up shop after that.
Oh, we did. I mean, it was nuts. Like I said, I came up, and usually I'm used to hearing, just everything going. I shoot, and I don't hear anything. I shoot again, I don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden it just like
erupted.
Boom, and then everything that was coming out of the hole just
Sat
like
down.
that. It
Wall
looked
of
like
steel.
like hail coming down in a pond. There was so much splashing going on. It was nuts. But that was another fun day too. But we've had a lot of great hunts this year. I'm sure we're gonna have some more in the future. We got a lot of work coming up this year.
A lot of work.
There's going to be a 40 at your house. I know it. I know it. I got
2,
faith in it.
2 pits to put in this year.
Yeah.
So
Got that one. We're putting in. I don't know. What do you guys think I ought to call that one? 42? Or the other one I thought of, which you guys know why, and we're just going to keep it there, 54 or 54 North. The reason why I say 54 North, I know you guys probably find this hard to believe, but it used to be a blind down at Duck Creek I used to hunt. That's what it was called. And believe it or not, they used to have tens of thousands of honkers down there.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Duck Creek? No way. Oh, man, that place would – and on a weekday, it would be hard to draw in the hunt geese there. That's how many people would be there.
No kidding.
Oh, it was incredible. I think so you had the Mingo Wildlife Refuge there, and then you had Duck Creek. I think the most I remember being down there is like right around 50,000. Yeah. 50,000 geese at the Mingo and Duck Creek combined. I mean, you get out of the truck in the morning, it's just a roar.
Yeah.
That's what you'd hear.
Of dark
Kind of
geese?
like dark Canadas.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you, between when I was your age, Harris, a lot younger than you actually. I think when I was 12, 13, into like 16 years old, Southern Illinois, it'd be in the St. Louis sports page of the Post-Dispatch, Southern Illinois winters 1 million geese. So, but that was between Southern Illinois, Ballard County, Kentucky, Reelfoot Lake, Tennessee, and then southeast Missouri.
Yep.
And, it seemed like the Cape Girardeau was like the line down there where the geese would, like they'd get just south of there and they'd hang. And but it'd be weird. You'd leave here and it'd be super cold. You get down there and it's like, wow, it's a little warmer. And so I guess it's just far enough south, the weather changed a little bit, but they would hang there. But anyway, that's something we'll decide. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I don't
know,
know.
it'll be I've tried to name every spot just it gives it uniqueness and that kind of thing. So
We'll figure it out once we get it in there.
yeah, I think so. What are you thinking of?
No idea.
idea?
I think we need to name yours Mama's Pit.
Yeah.
Mama's Pit.
Mama's Pit.
Just name it Mama's.
Wow. I was thinking like the Dog Prairie North.
Oh boy.
That could get dangerous.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee there's going to be Starlink at yours
Oh
running.
yeah.
There will be a card playing table running.
Mhm.
Euchre.
I
A
love
lot of
playing
euchre, I
A lot of
guarantee
euchre,
it. Yeah. It'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah.
Maybe a
be a cool
dartboard.
spot.
Maybe a
Bob.
hangout spot for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be cool. I mean, it's it's a place. That's what's. I mean, I love turkey hunting to death. We got it coming up, but man, I mean, this is there's so much camaraderie and just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be loud and be stupid,
Yeah.
however you want to be, and then when it gets time,
Yeah.
everybody just does their thing. But it's such a good time to hang out. It's so cold. What else you gonna do?
Nothing better.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with your pit. Your dad likes to go all out. I mean,
know.
it's all or nothing. When we first brought up this pit, he's like, well, I want one behind it. They make an 80-footer. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, he's like, I want a full living room, kitchen, everything. I'm like, why?
And
Like,
snacks.
Well,
More
now I'm
snacks.
starting to figure out why he goes all out. Like, I got into this trapping lately. He gets into it. I'm like, how many traps you got? 2. He goes out the next day, buys 20 more. I'm like,
Holy moly!
seriously? Like, you just go all out on everything, man. But
Yeah.
that's what he wants, and it might happen.
Well, it's up to you and him to decide, really.
I'm going to have to get some more carpenters involved.
What you need is to get him a pantry because he don't go hunting without about a book bag full
Yeah.
of snacks.
Oh
I mean,
man, he
it's-
showed up to 40 that day. He had like I said, we all getting Lululemon tights or what's going on? A big old Lululemon bag. There was everything in that bag.
Oh,
Oh,
my
We
yeah.
call him Little Debbie.
Little
Little
He
Debbie.
used to have that license plate that said Little Debbie on it.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's
He
funny.
loves them.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong if you're going to do something, do it all. Do it
Yeah.
all the way.
That's how you should do everything, really.
Yeah, yeah. We only live once, and go all out because I mean, this 12 bands is something all of us will remember for the
Something
rest of
cool.
our lives.
And I think, the day on them 12 bands, let's see, you got your first band. Victor got his first band. I think that might have been Ryan's first band.
was, yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
yeah, we
So
got
I mean,
some
that was
first
cool.
bands out there, and I think they were all in awe still.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you could just see. That's what's cool. We'll get to watch this video, this short film come out, and you get to relive that, and that'll be something we can look back on when you guys get my age and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, and we've done it once or twice since then. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
well,
just
we're gonna
never
do it
know.
every year.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Well, yeah. The January 28th.
28th, we'll
yeah,
be
we're gonna
down
go there
there,
and
yeah.
repeat it every year. So, but that's the plan. But yeah, it's just something you can relive. And
If you ever have kids, you can show them. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, this was my dad back in the day." Like that's it's cool. Getting that on footage like that, and it's just something to relive forever.
oh yeah.
yeah.
And what I thought was really cool too. So we're all standing there, got all these bands, we're taking pictures and everything, and then our group just your friends and we all draw. Like the day before when you got that one, Harrison and whoever was on that left side that shot, they drew, and Harrison ended up getting it, and the kind of thing. And that band that Harrison got, it had pellet marks in it.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I have shot so many bands. And I'm like, man, that is cool. I didn't shoot, so I didn't even get in. But I was like, man, that's a cool band. I'm glad he got it and everything. And so when this pile was being sorted out, he walks up to me and says, "Here, you need to take this one." And it had a pellet.
That was
mean,
That was a good one too.
yeah, that was. I mean, to me, that means a lot. And it's just you shoot so many of these. I've got some pretty unique ones. I got a rivet. I've got stainless. I've got just some of the old bands that the advised bands and not the Wayne
That we
Hunter
never
bands
got.
that you've never
No.
seen.
Nope.
I got a $100 reward band. I got $50 reward bands. Just trying to think. Just teal, pintail. I mean, just different ones, but never one with a pellet in it like that. And I mean that was cool. And then when I think somebody said, "Well, what are we gonna do? Draw?" And I think as a group we just said, "Hey, you know what? Everybody gets a band, something to remember this day by." And then we said, just give the rest to Trev. because, I mean, it was your spot. I mean, you took one for the team the day before, and there was not one argument, not one no, nothing. That just tells you how good of a group of guys that was, you know.
Couldn't be thankful for enough, you know. It just
Yeah.
a lot of people will be like, no, we're drawing. I'm like, I don't really care. Like, it's just a band to me. Like, it's cool to see. Like, especially to provide the spot and that happens. That was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, did that really just happen? Like,
it seemed so surreal when we were out there. I mean, just, I don't know. I mean, you know, I was watching Rip trying to get that last one, and I mean, I could hear everything that was going on behind me, and everybody was just like, did this just really happen? And I can't remember what Brown said, but I mean, I remember he was real loud in the video saying something.
He was going crazy.
It
You know,
was
Brown.
funny.
ear-holing more.
Ear-holing everybody, yeah.
That was funny.
I can't wait till he hears this.
Sorry, Ryan, I had to bring it up. So,
he'll be all right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. You know, and I'm sure glad you guys came out. We got to talk about this. I can't wait for the video to come out. I hope we can shoot some snow geese.
Hopefully
before
shoot some
this
snows and then
is out.
Man, back to them spring turkeys.
And you got a bunch on camera already.
A lot on. I mean, we were goose hunting. I had them strutting.
Yeah, you had like 50 gobblers in one picture.
One picture.
Longbeards, not jakes.
Yep.
Longbeards.
We had a good hatch. I mean, we even went out bow hunting this year. The day I shot that big one, I had 17 2-year-olds longbeards standing right in front of me.
Good God.
I'm just like, man, it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't all leave, but that's why I've been trapping.
Yeah.
You know, I had 4 nests get destroyed last year. So how many turkeys that is, I don't know, but
That's a lot.
You know,
That's a lot.
It goes a long way, too, that
it
trapping.
does.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, like I said, I'm blessed. I get to hunt a farm. I don't own. Some friends of mine do, and they coyote hunt. They predator hunt. They trap. They do everything.
Yep.
They manage their property the way it should, and it is unbelievable. You know, they got into turkey hunting, so they started seeing the benefits of predator. You know, just managing your property the right way. Turkeys are unreal.
Not even with turkeys, deer, turkeys, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Pheasants,
Everything
it really
benefits.
helps
Yeah,
out,
they
yeah.
got a lot of quail up there. I mean, it's one of the things I don't quail hunt up there. Their son-in-law likes to do it, and that's his thing. And so, we don't have quail like we used to. And man, when I was a kid, it was nothing. We could go. I'd stumble along with my Uncle Marvin, and we get into 4 or 5 coveys a day.
Yeah.
No
Like
kidding.
it wasn't nothing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and my
typical.
grandpa used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
We'd go around, St. Paul, we would shoot quail. He had that little pointer, and we had a good time doing it. Now, like, from about 2015 to about 2 years ago, there was no quail. Now they're everywhere.
But
That's
I think
good.
A lot of it's predator hunting. It's like
Yeah.
the other thing is like even rabbits. I know there's rabbits everywhere now, but like I used to rabbit hunt when I was younger to give me something to do. I thought
Yeah.
there wasn't that many rabbits.
No.
Now when it starts going and shooting coyotes, like last year, just around where we live, we shot 56 coyotes.
Oh wow.
Then just off of the one little chunk of timber down there, I mean, we trapped 2 more raccoons the other day.
Yep.
Then during the raccoon calling season, we shot 13 off of it.
Oh wow.
And that's only a 30, 40 acre chunk of timber.
Yeah, it ain't much,
Yeah.
A little bit helps.
It's just so it goes to show. I mean, we have coyotes, bobcats, and raccoons every day down there on camera, and we've shot I think 3 to 5 coyotes off that piece of property, and I think over 15 to 18 coons in the last like 6 months,
Oh wow.
and they're still there every day.
It works.
Yeah, if you want turkeys, that's what we got. I mean,
Yeah.
the population's been so down, especially around home here. So
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said, not just turkeys, it's waterfowl. It's everything
Oh,
that they
yeah.
destroy. They'll get in them boxes when it's frozen out or something or whenever. They'll destroy everything.
yeah, I mean it's like quail, like, not quail, quail. Like people used to hunt those around home.
Yeah.
Never see them anymore.
Yeah.
I think last year we raised like 50 and let go, and
Yep.
we might have like 1 or 2 cubbies around. That's it.
Wow.
Can't even hunt them anymore. No one hunts them anymore.
Yeah, you don't hear of it, you know,
Yeah.
like you used to. And I mean, I get it. Farms have been developed and sold, and fence lines aren't what they used to be because everybody's farming edge to edge now, and they rip the fence lines out, and
Yep.
so that's made a big difference. But a little predator management goes a long way. I mean, that's the premise behind Delta Waterfowl. When they
Yep.
were formed, they did all that predator management. Because you see what happens on the nesting grounds. I don't know. I can't remember the statistics on what these predators will do to a duck nest a day. How many they can get into. I've heard that one coon will wipe out 1 turkey nest every night.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I found
That's a
4.
lot.
That adds up, and that's
Yeah.
why you get such a good hatch this year. Like you've seen all them is guys killing coyotes and trapping. It just goes to show you how, and you don't see it. Not everyone else does it, but when you do, you see the difference.
Oh yeah.
So
You reap the benefits of it. You
Yeah.
know. And
Yep.
you know, it's just something else to do. You know, you're always thinking about, you know, what is our down. You guys are like me. I probably think about goose hunting 364 days a year. One other day, I may think about turkey hunting or something. But I mean, even when I'm turkey hunting, I'm thinking about it. But you know, it's things like that you can do to make the time go by. You know, I got a dog to train, so that's really taking up a lot of my time. And besides all the different shows that we do, and you know, building these pits, I find that stuff fun. I mean, we did it when it was 104, 105 degrees,
I
building
ain't doing
40.
it again in
That's a
that.
hot day.
Yeah,
That's a hot
well,
day.
the other one's being delivered on March 4th because I know Trevor's like, get that thing here sooner than later, so we don't have to mess with it when it's hot. And but I mean, it's enjoyable doing that stuff to see what
Yep.
you can do.
Yep. I
you
mean,
know?
for 2 days building that thing, we had it closed up, ready to rip.
Oh yeah,
It was kind of like, we got to get it done right now. We're running out of time.
yeah,
If I could get one there early and I could just kind of piddle every other weekend or something with it, like here and there, I don't have to rush through it, it'll look a lot better. Even though this one looks really good.
I don't know how much better you could have done, man. I mean, that
Yeah.
thing is nice.
Yeah.
You know,
No, there's a few things I'd do different, but yeah, this next one's gonna be nice.
sweet. It's just something that makes the time go by, and then you start thinking about it. Man, I can't wait to get in there. And we just got, like I said, got so lucky with 40 that we had geese here so early. Man, I would have never dreamt it would have turned out the way it did. And then it was just like, okay, wake up call.
Yep.
Got hot, and the geese just stopped.
They just stopped.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys were banging them up.
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, you were so busy duck hunting, and I mean, and the thing was, duck season was going on. I know you guys were duck hunting, he was duck hunting, and a lot of my other buddies were duck hunting. And like, it'd be one or two of us, or me and Travis and his boys would go up there. We'd kill a limit and be like, I don't know how many you could have shot. If you had 10 shooters, it'd been 30 geese that day.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was saying the
Yeah.
same thing at his
Yeah,
house. I mean,
I
it
Yeah,
was just-
well, we had a couple good shoots at your house too.
And a lot of it, I was goose hunting, and like how the year started off, I thought this would be a record year. I mean, and my duck season was slow, so I'm like, the last 2 weeks I started goose hunting, and it just took off. And I'm like, January, here we come. Like, I thought this would be like one of those years you shoot a couple hundred out of one pit.
Yeah.
Then it was just like done
straight
with.
downhill.
We got cut off.
We got cut off.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like night and day difference. Kind of, I think we shot 40, and we shot 18 the next day, and days prior we're shooting a few each day. Then the day after that, we had that was a thaw, I guess. We had a warm up. Like, oh, they'd fly during the warm up. They weren't around. They're just gone. Then it got real
Yeah.
cold, and like, oh, we'll get another migration. I think that first 1 or 2 days we shot like 6 or 8 or 10 or 2. Then it just got so cold and stayed cold, and it was over with.
Yep.
I think they went.
Well, we got that
Right
first
by us.
cold
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. It froze tight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got cold, and a lot of people's duck season just went whoop, like
Yep.
that. They couldn't keep no more water open. The ducks moved to different spots.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting a different flight pattern. The geese showed up.
Yeah.
In that, a lot of people up north were really froze.
Oh yeah,
Here come the geese. They seen we were really froze. They kept going.
that's right.
That's why everybody was shooting them at that point
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
here. And
They're-
then
they were moving.
They
They
got
had
so
to.
far past us, we didn't see them January.
Yeah,
Where'd they go?
that
Where'd
warm up,
go?
they never made it back up here.
No.
We went hunting every day during that warm up. We're like,
I was sitting there
we're
every
coming.
day.
Yeah.
You know, thinking, all right, any day now, any day now.
They
they
make a
come.
twist
Any day
past
now.
the
Yeah.
river,
Nope.
you know? Yeah.
Which now, like normally they're everywhere the week after season, but then they push north. I mean, just yesterday there were groups after groups
Coming
after
from the
group
south.
coming from the south,
Yeah.
fighting that wind. Migrator groups of like normally I should be seeing snows right now. I mean, I'm sitting there and it's like line of honkers, line of honkers, line of
Yeah.
honkers. I'm like, man, I wish there was like this 3 weeks ago.
I mean, look at the specs. We usually shoot a couple dozen
Hardly even
specs
seen any
plus,
yet.
you know,
Yeah.
a year. You're calling it specs about every time you go hunting.
Yeah,
Didn't see them.
yeah,
Where they just made it that far south.
Yeah.
And then Arkansas, southern Missouri got that ice storm.
mm-hmm.
Pushed them even farther.
That's right. Yeah, I had buddies hunting down north of Jonesboro
Yep.
for snow geese last week or so. He said, couldn't believe all the honkers down there. I
Yep.
said, what? And he said honkers. And I was like, are you – I know he knows what he's talking about, too. I was just giving him trouble. I was like, are you sure? Yeah, John, I know what a honker looks like. And, yeah, he said, I would have never thought. And I said, well, they went to places nobody is used to seeing them.
Right.
And, you know, if knowing them, they hung out probably on the big reservoirs down there. They probably weren't going into where guys are hunting ducks. I mean,
Right.
maybe some rice fields, but I don't know that honkers would go to rice fields. Down there, I would have bet they were probably looking for, like, wheat fields or soybeans. You know, they farm mainly down there, it seems like to me it's either rice, soybeans, or cotton.
Yeah.
They ain't
You know,
eating
not
cotton.
much.
There's no way.
and there's not much corn down there from what I've ever seen. So it's either
Very little.
rice.
Soybeans.
So I would have guessed they were probably going to the dry soybean fields. And who's out there messing with anything that time of the year?
Nothing.
You're in a rice field or you're into timber.
Yep.
Them boys are duck hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, they're through and through duck hunters. They
Oh,
ain't
they're
they
diehard.
ain't shooting no wide bellies. They,
No.
they ain't. No, that's the last thing they want.
Yeah.
They don't taste good.
No.
So hopefully they imprinted not to go down there every year. But, hopefully they got it far enough south where they realize, hey, you know what, next year we can fly a little further south and
Right.
we can get past, the southern border of Iowa and
Yep.
make it down a little further. So, that our best years have been freeze, thaw, freeze, thaw, freeze, thaw.
Once you get that freeze and then the thaw, just
Short-lived,
yes,
not
2 days,
Not
2
2
weeks.
days,
Yeah.
2 days. That's when you can get them.
yeah.
But yeah, when it goes for long like that, it's over.
Yep.
Just-
And you got to change your methods. I mean, we did this year and it worked out,
Right.
and I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, Sam, you probably thought we were crazy goose hunting this much.
Oh my gosh.
You did not really do it a lot.
No, I didn't. I mean, I live
Last
and
2
breathe ducks,
years
but
now, we've been on some really good shoots
For sure.
together over at his house, and
It's been
now
a
you're
lot of fun. Yeah. I like them pandas a lot.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to explain to people, but
I mean, one of the things for me is too is when they talk back to you coming in, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
are so loud when they're really intrigued, and the way they set up, they're just floating, and it's like you're shooting a big picture frame. It's something else.
yeah.
Well, me and you duck hunt a lot and together. And like this year, I was like, hey, you want to go goose hunt in the morning? It's still duck season. We normally don't do it to January.
Yep.
I'm like, well, I'm going goose hunting. You're like, yeah, I'll come with you. Years past,
Which is
like,
unlike
no.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, unlike
you're
me.
a diehard duck hunter
Yeah.
through and through. But now you're like, yeah, I'll go goose hunting tomorrow.
Yeah. Now I
Sounds
got
good.
my first goose band, so I'm pretty tied up in it now.
You're official
Yeah.
now.
you're
Yeah.
rolling now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you get that new big one put in there at Harrison's. I mean, once you guys bang a few out of that, I mean,
Oh.
it's just it's neat, not just because of what it is, but you put in the time and the work to make that happen, and just it's hard to explain.
Very
to-
rewarding when you
It is.
when you take the time,
It
like you were
is.
talking about in the summer. Those hot days. What else are you going to do? You're going to sit down there and kind of get something set up for goose season, and
Right. Yep.
it just makes it that much better. You put those that sweat into it. So.
And it's you got a pretty good idea because you've hunted that spot. It's a good spot. You know it's going to be good, and now it's just going to be more comfortable.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
My dad was never a big goose hunter. But I started doing it, and I think the first year I goose hunted that pond, I mean, I had like a dozen Bigfoots. That was it. I brought out and you layup blind, froze in that layup blind for a few days. Then the year after that, me and my buddy came over. I think we were like 15 at the time. And we had a bunch of scrapped lumber laying around from building the house and certain things. I'm like, I want to build a pit. We built a pit. We put in there, and I shot geese out of it. It worked. I remember it was pretty good. And we got big old snow, and it was like melting during the thaw. And so I got to go down there and pump it out. We'd hunt. Like next morning, I'd go down there, but like 3 and 4 feet of water in it. I'd pump it out, and I mean I think it lasted one season. And it was just rotten.
Yeah,
it,
rotted
it
through
all-
and
it
through it.
caved in. But then finally saved a little bit of money up and went and put a little 4-man duck pit in there. And then just now we're gonna have a 40 in there. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to see
Baby
it.
steps.
Baby
Yeah.
steps. Layout blind to wooden pit to small pit to bigger
Yeah,
pit.
and it's hard enough to get us out of that 4-man pit. I mean, we'll sit down there all
Oh,
day
yeah.
and we'll tell each other, "Here
Yeah.
we go. Let's give another hour." An hour turns into 5. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think with that 40, we get set up in there. We're gonna have bunk beds, and that's
Probably.
Well,
Yeah.
I made that comment after this one was built, after Trevor got done building that. And you get down there, we spray foam insulated it and everything. And I was like, gosh, the younger John would have spent nights in here. No ifs, ands, or buts.
yeah.
Just to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you technically could live out of there. I mean,
oh yeah.
there's no reason
They're
why
incredible.
you can't.
It's-
And it's cool because we've had some shoots in the past where we had migrator days, and then everything happened up north, up in Minnesota and Iowa, and then perfectly you knew they were coming.
Yep.
And so I called a bunch of buddies and we just line up because I knew it was going to be like that. And we've had some more shooters in there than we had shooting holes. But it was just so much fun. But, 'cause guys are pretty good. Hey, I'll just hang down underneath for you guys shoot, and we'll just switch. We just rotate it out. And, man, it was so fun because what would have, like you said, we get shooters in there. It's 2 groups, and that's it. It's over. we got to make that last a little longer because we
Yep.
just cycled some guys in and out. Got some guys that really, hadn't really had a chance to really shoot geese, and to me, like you said earlier, it's the juice for me is working them.
Yeah.
That's it. Shooting them secondary, but yeah, that calling them, breaking them down, listening to them, like you were saying, they're so vocal, and when you can, figure out kind of, and you think you'll never figure them out, but if you think, hey, I can read these a little bit, I know what they're wanting to hear, I know what they're saying, and you can watch. There's, some of the videos that, it's really cool having Nick around now because he's been able to film a lot of this stuff. And some of the birds, like, I sit there and listen to myself call and listen to what they're doing. It's like we're mimicking each other. And you can see, the way they react each time. And, man, it gets so addicting. And you get to a point, I hate to say it, you're almost like a crack addict.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to have that every day.
Oh yeah.
And then when we go through the dry spells, like I said, poor Harrison here, man. Before
I was getting down.
oh man, he was down.
bud.
I remember when we shot that field up there, and I think it was Jeter came running back, and somebody was like, "Hey, John, that one's banded." And I remember Harrison. I was just showing everybody the band. Harrison comes out, and he was holding it, and he's like, oh. "Man, that felt good." And you get like that because you go so hard, and it just punishes you and beats you down, and then when it all starts happening, and from that day on, it was like game on the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, we just screwed up. We didn't go looking. We just kept sitting in that pit.
That's
well,
right.
We're not used to doing that. It's the
No,
thing.
I
It's water, but it does make it rewarding when you got to make the switch and go after them that way.
Oh, 100%.
And then, like you said, with that dry spell, and it's so much more rewarding. Something like that happens right there. It's magic.
Yeah, and the only other sport I see that in, I know duck hunting can be that way, but I never feel that way other than in turkey season. Because, you can go, and you're like, gosh, man, you can't close a deal. You can't close a deal. Or, man, they're not gobbling. And you start getting to a point, it's like, I go through it every year in a way. I start second guessing. Am I calling too much? Do I sound like a turkey? Am I being too aggressive? Am I not being aggressive enough? And then like that. And you go from, the famous saying, don't mean to sound cliche, but 0 to hero in a matter of a second.
Quick.
And it changes your whole outlook on turkey season. And the same way happened this goose season. And, man, I'm so glad in a way we had that dry spell because it made me realize, get your butt out and go back to what you used to do.
We were getting comfortable.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
We were getting comfortable. That's for sure.
It's hard not to when you're in a 40 and nice and warm in there.
Yeah.
You got all the
It's-
room.
Yeah.
Taking naps in zero gravity chairs.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Biscuits, sausage.
60 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When it's 10 outside.
Yeah.
Down to a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It's-
can't beat that.
It's something special. But
Yeah. I'll never forget the day I took you with me up there for the first time with him, and you seen them Dave Smiths.
Yeah.
I came back to his house the next week, and there's a mountain of them
Oh,
in
my
the driveway. I'm
God.
like, dude.
I thought Ted and Lori's going to hang me and kill me the next time they see me.
I'll probably live with them until I'm about 30 because of the amount of decoy debt I have, but oh well.
I think you and I have probably financed Dave Smith's lifestyle for. Just kidding, but we got enough of them between the both. There for a while. There was a gentleman I met goose hunting out in eastern Illinois one year. His name was, I think it was Harold Kevitt. He used to run these like Argentina dove hunts, and somehow or another he didn't know my name, but he called me the Dave Smith kid. Because he'd seen what I'd done and be like, my God, you got a bunch of them things. Hey, Dave Smith kid, that's what he'd call me. And it was weird because we were up like 5 years later. We're scouting a field up in Saskatchewan. And these guys from California, they're driving the Suburban. They come up, hey, what you guys got tomorrow? And all of a sudden I hear from the back seat, hey, Dave Smith kid. And I was like, Harold? And I was like, what the hell are you doing up here? Kind of thing. But it was just funny. But after he did that, and he said, Harrison bought like half of Dave Smith's inventory. I was like, oh, my God, your parents are going to, like, kill me. But, I'm not sponsored by them. We're not sponsored by anybody. I like to use what I like to use, and by far, hands down, one of the best.
Oh yeah.
They're so
You can't beat 'em.
comfortable
No.
in them. I mean, if you watch them geese, like you said, when they hit that dry ground, they just flutter up. They hit them Dave Smiths and just
Yeah.
straight to sleep.
Totally full.
You
And
get
I'm not saying that that's because the day we shot the 12 bands, we didn't have one out.
We
I
didn't
don't
have
think.
one, but
You know, so I'm not saying
We
that
didn't
that's
give
what
'em
you got to
much.
have to kill geese, but
we didn't give them much opportunity to be comfortable.
No.
It was just like,
No.
we got to go, you
Yeah.
know? But, like, even at my pit, I don't have Dave Smiths. I'm just running them FAs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a lot of sleeper shells, but
yeah,
they're comfortable going in them. But you can definitely tell when I land geese in there, they're looking. They're like, this don't look right.
yeah.
This don't look right. You put them in them Dave Smiths, they're just walking around, feeding,
they're cozy.
going
They'll
to sleep.
sit there all
They are.
day.
Oh,
How
yeah.
many,
They won't
how
get
many
up.
times have we walked out to this, even a smaller traffic spread, and they're sitting in them?
Well, how many times I've walked out, got in the pit, and we're all sitting there talking. We go like at 10 when it's cold or something. And
Hey, that one's moving.
And I look over, I'm like, there's like geese sitting in the decoys. And we walked right past them.
Yeah,
I mean, I
we're
couldn't
not
count
hunting
on
city
both
geese.
hands.
We're like, they're not dumb geese.
right.
No,
And I'm like, they get that comfortable.
they do.
So hard to kill, but man, you can walk right up to them when they're in your decoys, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of nice
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah.
Hard to figure that you could walk right past. And the thing that always made me think that they're probably like, well, he's not leaving. He's not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we're at the park and they're going to start feeding us popcorn here soon. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Well,
but
I used to run so many decoys, and I mean, we used to run 500, 600 silhouettes, 100, 200 full bodies. Like, you used to have a giant spread.
yeah,
Now I have 20 dozen Dave Smiths, and I put out 2 or 3 dozen floaters. If there's open water, not ice, that's all I need. I mean, you break them down.
And
So-
it's 10 times better than it was. But
oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
if you see them,
Oh, it's crazy.
Like for my fly line, it's not really the greatest fly line. It's like on an average good day that they're flying. I mean, you have your day that you see just group after group after group, but most days you only see 2 or 3 or maybe 4 groups of geese.
but the ones you see.
But if we see 4 groups of geese, I say if they see our decoys, we kill 2 of the groups.
yeah.
And they
For
won't.
sure.
And our hide's so good. That's another thing. A lot of spots we all hunt, hide's the biggest thing. Like
Yeah.
So you shoot them at 10 yards.
That's all of it. Hide.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to
I mean-
say Dave's are worth it.
and 20.
They are.
He's got to justify to Ted
Yeah.
and Lori,
Yeah.
save my
Come on,
butt and
man.
yours in the process.
yeah.
So,
Hey, that's mom and dad. That's why I'm gonna live at home from till I'm 30.
Yeah.
'cause-
oh, man.
This is why they said the frame of room down in the basement.
Yeah.
That where you're going to move.
Yeah. So.
No, that's just for all the Dave Smiths.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It's
where
the
they're
whole
going to hang
basement
out.
too, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
No, you're right. They work.
They do.
They 100% work.
Yeah.
You don't need them, but if you're this passionate about it, might as well.
My thing is, it's like I remember down in WTF when TSS started getting popular. I ain't paying $10 a shotgun shell to shoot a turkey, and you don't have to,
No.
you know. But my thought process was, I'd say, well, you're shooting probably a $1,000 to $2,000 shotgun. Probably got a $100, $200 choke in. You've got a turkey vest on that's probably $100-something bucks.
Yep.
You
That
probably
was-
got
yeah.
$200 or $300 worth of turkey calls stuffed in every little pocket that you can find.
$500 worth of decoys.
Yeah, and
$1,000 worth of fuel in your truck driving everywhere and
And how much
wear
time
and
and-
tear. I'm like,
Yeah.
might as well capitalize on it.
that $10 shell.
Cheapest thing.
That's it.
Herb-
And I mean, it's devastating. I mean, my thing with the turkeys as well as the geese, I don't know who I was talking to about me. It's with geese, to me, like I said, the juice is them doing it.
Yep.
The show is what I call it. I want the show. That's what
Yep.
I want. I'm the same doggone way with turkeys. I would rather pass up a 40 or 50-yard shot to get them right there in front, strutting, doing their thing.
I like them standing on the decoys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Standing on the decoys. And so do you need TSS that close? Probably not. But, it's reassuring to me if I hit, more than likely you're going to hit the bird when they're that tight. I mean, you were with me up in Michigan. I mean, that joker came in. I was looking through that red dot sight with the sun shining right in it with a kaleidoscope. Man, I'm sitting there. I mean, it was cold out, and I had to be sweating because I'm sitting there looking through this red dot sight, and the sun's shining right in it, and it looked like a kaleidoscope. And I'm thinking, I look down at Trevor, and Trevor's just like this, gun in his lap, and I'm thinking, because I was like, God, I hope he, figured, because I know you looked a little bit at me, and I know, you had to be thinking,
Oh, I knew you were
what
nervous.
is he doing?
I seen your
You
leg
know?
moving a lot more. You were just kind of looking at me, and your leg was moving a lot more. I'm like, he's nervous about
Yeah,
something. I don't know what
Schneppy
it
was
is.
over there. I could kind of see him, and I think he was like,
You gotta shoot this thing.
what's this dude doing? I mean, I just couldn't see him, and I was thinking, please, Trevor, pull up and shoot this silly thing. Then finally, I was able to just, because he was coming in full strut, looking at everything. I mean, looking dead at us. And finally, the sun must have went up just enough, or I tilted my gun just enough where that dot lined up on his head. And I mean, I darn near separated him from his shoulders.
They're close.
And so, I mean, that's the thing. The DSDs, like I said, you don't need them for geese. But if I'm going out there, I'm taking everything out of the equation.
Yep.
I've done everything that I could do to make this the best that it could possibly be.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work, Mother Nature won. And we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
It's not just with goose hunting. It's with turkey hunting, too.
Yeah,
Like buying them
100%.
Dave Smith turkey decoys. I mean, I used to hunt over the Pretty Boy. And they were all kind of, like them gobblers, they'd get kind of nervous about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I bought these Dave Smiths, and it's just like every turkey. I've never had one skirt me anymore about it.
Yeah.
Just right into them.
And I know you're a big fan of the posturing Jake.
The 3/4 strut. Yep.
Yep.
That is my favorite with the breeding hen.
Yep.
And it's worked every
They get
time.
mad.
I've got video from last year. I filmed that one.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
standing
that was
on the
cool.
decoy.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I like seeing. Like
Yeah.
I like them playing around. You buy them for a reason.
Right.
Use them.
That's right.
Watch the show.
Yeah, that's what it's
that's-
all about, man. Luckily this year we're gonna have Nick filming it, so as I get older and I start forgetting my name and everything else, I can at least look back and like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's right around the corner. I know you guys are avid, ate up with it too. So that's gonna be fun. Hope we shoot some snows coming up. And I can't thank all three of you enough for coming in, reliving this 12 band moment. It's something I know I'll cherish and carry with me forever. So, good group of guys, good shooters, just you couldn't ask for a better day.
Yep. No,
So.
I mean just hard workers at it.
Yeah.
There wasn't one guy standing around like, "What do you want me to do?" It was
Yeah.
just like, "Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got to go."
Yep.
They're gonna fly here any minute. So that's what makes it fun too. Just having a good group of guys that wants to do it.
Yeah. That thoroughly enjoy being there.
Yep.
And don't mind if we would have walked out of there skunked, although Pat gave us the 110%. I didn't think we were, but if we would have went out of there skunked.
He would have been the only one mad.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, again, I can't thank you guys enough. We're going to try to get after some snow geese. We'll definitely, January 28th, we'll revisit this and do it again. But, yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us. I mean, fun work, in my opinion. I can't wait to see these things evolve. So, again, thank you guys for coming in.
No, thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
appreciate it. So, for Harrison, Sam, and Trevor, I'm Jon Blevins, your host. Thank you guys for joining us. Be looking for the 12-band short film coming out here soon. It's going to be a killer. You guys will love it. So, thanks again. We'll see you at the next one.